In this lecture, we're going to talk about another great feature in SQL Server, that is built-in JSON support. But before talking about JSON support in SQL Server, we need to talk a little bit about what JSON is. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and it is widely used for data representation in the data services world. So based on this notation, you have data represented in a specific way. However, this format, the JSON format, is widely used, so it is significant that SQL Server supports this format. And about JSON support in SQL Server, note that this support was originally added in SQL Server 2016 and allows you to format query results as JSON by adding the for_JSON clause to a select statement in SQL Server. Moreover, note that you can convert JSON data to rows and columns by calling the open_JSON rowset provider function. So it is very easy to format query results as JSON in SQL Server or export data from SQL Server as JSON by adding the for_JSON clause to a select statement. And we are going to see this in action right now via a live demonstration. So for this live demonstration, I'm going to use a table I created in a previous demo in the SQL Dev Essentials sample database created for this course. So I'm going to select top 5 star from TBL CAS just to see the records we're going to use for this example. So you can see that my table, my TBL CAS table, currently has only 2 records. So it has the record with ID 2, CAS name 2, CAS address 2, and another record with ID 3, CAS name, CAS 3, and CAS address 3. Okay, great. We'll just use these 2 records. There's no need to add more records because this is a simplified example. And we're going to see 2 examples. In the first example, we will be controlling the output, and that means that we will be explicitly specifying the route for our JSON data representation. So let's select the records from TBL CAS, and you can see here we add the clauses for_JSON path, and we set customers as the root. So let's run this, and you can see this is the JSON representation. So I have my customers root here, which has 2 elements. The first record with ID 2 and the corresponding values, and the second element, that is the second record with ID 3 and the respective column values as well. So this is the JSON representation for these 2 records in my TBL CAS table. Now, if we want our select statement to automatically control the output, we just use the clause in our select statement for_JSON auto, and this will automatically generate the JSON representation without specifying the customer's root we explicitly specified in the previous example. So let's execute, and you can see that this is the JSON representation for the contents of the TBL CAS table, which contains the 2 records in the JSON notation. Great. So now, besides that, you can take this output and you can save it as JSON, and you can pass it as a data source to another application, another system that processes JSON files. This video is part of my online course, Essential SQL Server Development Tips for SQL Developers. Check the video description for enrolling to the course with a major discount. Thank you for watching this video.